Okay, I'm back. It's Reverend White Buffalo. And I had to talk about this one little step at a time. I only got 15 minutes and during each taping. So I'm going to talk about Hurricane Patricia. I crossed the border, I think it was August 8th, 2015, I think, 2015. And Hurricane Patricia was there, was it October? October that same year. And we were parked right on the fucking beach. And it was coming in, and I didn't even know. Because the minute I crossed over, I had no internet. I had nothing. I had spent all this money on iPhones, and my service didn't carry. Pardon me. So I didn't have any warnings except for the news. Televisa News came down there, newscaster. I won't give you her name, but she came down there and interviewed me, and they knew who I was. And she interviewed me, and she says, "We'll pull you out if you need some help." And I didn't know what she's talking about, right? I didn't think about that. There's a hurricane coming, and we're right on the beach. And I'm in an RV on a cliff with kids. And two of the kids went back, and I had my biological children there. And we were out of water, so I had to it had been raining a little bit, so it was muddy. And I had to take my big 5-gallon thing or whatever. I don't think it's more than 5 gallons. It was huge. You know, it's one of those big ones, right? So I took it down over there to the Margaritas, and she's got this little small little food stand thing, and she had water dispensaries. There's water dispensaries everywhere in Mexico. So so she's like a block and a half down, and that whole lot is one block. It's like a small city block wide or deep, and we're kind of up front right there on the cliff. And so I took this. I couldn't carry it back, the water, so I had this little stroller thing I got. I don't know where I got it. It's like $10 little weekend baby strollers, you know, the ones with no hood or anything. You just stroll and then throw it away, I guess. It's disposable. So I used it for hauling water. And it started raining, and then it started coming down. And Mexico has these torrential rains, and they're, oh boy, when it comes down, when it rains, it's just freaking pouring. And so my kids are in the RV, and I assumed they were safe. And I look, and it's like really getting bad. And the hurricane was just off the coast, Hurricane Patricia. I had come back, and I saw it, and it's like windy, and it was like really, really, really raining hard. And I had to walk like a long ways in the mud with a baby stroller with lots of water weighting the baby stroller down, which means I wasn't getting very far because it's muddy, and the mud was getting in the tires and the wheels, and it was heavy, so it was sinking the stroller down. And so I had to push it all the way to the end of the city block in mud. And of course I was like, push it. And my babies are back there, and I open up the door, finally get there, open up the door, and boy, I put the water in, and I look in, and water is just streaming down, because her vent, my daughter, I had one of those, like, I think they're called coaches, RV. I had part of it's the RV, and there's like a little truck, trailer, you know, place we drive, and then, you know, and then it has the bed right over the top. So the RV part is kind of like shaped like an L right there, and her bed was right there. and that vent over the top had blown off because she had it opened up or something, or it went off when we were driving. I can't remember, but it had torn off. And she's sitting there underneath this fucking river of water coming in, and she's terrified. And I said, honey, don't worry, I got this. It is just coming down quicker than I could even tell you how strong it was coming down, just pouring in there. And so I climbed up on top of the RV, and the rain is coming down, and the winds are hurricane. And I'm on top of this fucking RV, right? On a cliff. Saving my fucking beautiful child. So I had this huge black utility box filled with tools, right? Just enough for me to be able to carry it, and I can't even tell you how heavy it was. But I picked up this, it's probably, I don't know, 3 feet wide, and then a foot and a half deep. It's a utility box. You put it in the back of your truck or something. And I picked it up, and I'm walking over and carrying this black utility thing on wet RV ceiling or roof. And I get to her vent, and I go kaplunk. And I covered it, okay? And it didn't fly off. And I said, for now, we're okay. Let's just hopefully make sure that it gets through the rain. And I'm up there, and I have this surge of fucking anger and this surge of fucking protection for my kids. And I said, and I'm pissed off by this time. And I said, bitch. And I said, bring it on, you motherfucker. I said, bring it on, you motherfucker. And I flipped her off like this. I said, you take your fucking ass and head on down to La Paz. And I'm looking in the eye of the fucking hurricane. And it's right there. And I'm pissed off at that bitch for fucking with my kid. And so I'm sitting there having this time of my life. I'm telling you, I was on the top of the fucking world. And there was a calm in the storm. And that's because I'm sitting there right underneath the fucking eye. And so I climbed back down, and that bitch had blown my fucking baby stroller down the cliff. Muddy cliff. And so I had to go down the muddy cliff about, I don't know, it was about 12 feet or so. And I had to climb down and get that fucking stroller and shove it up there, and things are blowing everywhere, right? They are. And I had to get that stroller. My babies need water. And so I couldn't just leave it there because it's going to get stolen, because there's people who hate me there already, right? There are. And they're going to steal anything I leave out, right? They are. And so I pull it up there, and that was harder than carrying that utility box. And so I climb back in there, and I get in there, and my baby's like shivering. And so I said, come on, honey, let's get you dried off. And I shut everything down. I locked everything down. And that vent stayed covered for 4 or 5 months. And I have no idea why that hurricane could not budge that fucking box. And we somehow went through Hurricane Patricia and did not topple over. Miracle.